Houston Astros, the rubber match of the series. The Mets are going to see if they can take this series, because there is no Sunday game tomorrow, as the peculiar scheduling of everything continues within this year. So we are going to be hanging out, talking Mets while doing food delivery, and just kind of doing everything that we do as we're out and about with you. I'm actually just about to drop off a food delivery. The game is just about to begin, and so we'll keep you updated on everything as we go throughout the evening here. So appreciate each and every one of you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. So yeah, Mets won yesterday. Pretty good game all around. Tyler McGill had an awesome pitching performance. Our bullpen has been phenomenal start of the season. I believe it's 7 innings of shutout ball that the bullpen has already pitched this year. And the bats started to come alive. I hope that tonight is a night where you see the Mets put up 7, 8, 9 runs. It would be really nice to kind of get all the bats working in sync. Even if for whatever reason the Mets don't win this game, I'd like to at least still score 7, 8, 9 runs here tonight. That's just kind of on my wish list here for this game. So strange knowing that Saturday night is the final game of the series. Lindor leading off for the Mets in the game. And there's a strike here, so I'll do my best to give you play-by-play, but it's going to be hard to stay on top of absolutely every pitch like we do when I'm sitting at home. But we'll at least keep you up with the flow of the game. We're going to just hang out, talk baseball. This will be a much more casual stream, I think, than like when we're sitting at the computer doing that. Ball's popped to shallow left field, and Altuve makes the catch for the stout. So Lindor is continuing on with no hits yet to start the season, which again, if you are not planning on that, I don't know what type of Mets fan you are. I think every Mets fan who's realistic knows and understands that Lindor just takes a little while. And the difference is this year is it's not as big of a deal to this lineup. I would consider putting Lindor in. I know you want to get him the at-bats, but I'd also consider moving him down the lineup a little bit until his bat heats up. But I understand why they want to have him in the top of the lineup as well, and they want to have that consistency. So Soto is at the plate now for the Mets. I'd assume you're going to see pretty much, with the day off tomorrow, you got almost everybody, almost all your pitchers, except the guys who are pitched out, but everybody's at your disposal for what is available. So appreciate everybody. We are MetropoliFins. We are YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. I'm out doing some food delivery while talking Mets, hanging out with you here tonight. So appreciate everybody being with us. Hope you are doing well. The Mets are off to a 1-1 start, which is not perfect, but it's still a lot better than last season. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Soto. Again, my feed, my stream might get behind you guys a little bit, because as I get notifications, the radio does it, and then I'll try to catch up on commercials. So we're out doing some food delivery, talking Mets here. Soto at the plate, and if I get some breaks during the night, I'll actually turn on the game and watch a little bit and do that. But obviously can't watch the game while I'm driving, so I got it in my ear, listening, hanging out with you guys here tonight. Mets batting average is 183 through the first 2 games, so that's why I want to see them break out here tonight. Want to see the bats go wild. All right. guys with me for the delivery here. Soto hits the ball up against the wall. It's going to be an extra base hit for Juan Soto. So, dropping off our order, some sushi. All right. So Soto gets the double here. So once again, Soto paying off for the Mets. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We're out doing some food delivery, but also listening to the game as we go. So Mets got a runner in scoring position. We love doing these games from home, but can't always do that thanks to work right now. But maybe someday, if you guys keep liking, subscribing, sharing the stream and everything, then this could be a full-time gig for me. But in the meantime, I'm just excited to hang out with you guys and talk Mets baseball because it's a whole lot more fun than just listening by myself. Pete Alonso skies one high in there. Soto's going to tag and go to third on the play. Alonso will be out, but so Soto will be on third with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. So we're going to go try to find our next food order here while we do that. Let's see here who is in the 4-hole today. I don't know if it's going to be Vientos or Nimmo. It's going to be Nimmo. I really like Nimmo in the 4-hole because there's going to be some innings where he gets to lead off, and then there's other innings where he gets to be the power hitter. And Nimmo, obviously, he's played leadoff before, and he's got both approaches, right? He knows how to be a leadoff hitter, just put the ball into place, put the ball into play. And then he also is growing in his power and has the ability to hit doubles and home runs. So I really am enjoying Nimmo batting in this 4 slot, and I hope the Mets utilize him there a lot in this upcoming season. All right. Nimmo's at the plate with Soto on third base. Got 3 balls on Nimmo. And again, sorry if my stream is lagging a little bit. I'll try to catch up every time it's commercial break, but I don't want to skip ahead and miss actual action in the game. And Nimmo walks. So yeah, I got runners on first and third. Vientos is at the plate for the Mets. So Mets are threatening here in the first inning. It'd be nice to get an early lead here. Marky V, he had a clutch double yesterday, I believe it was. And it's also just Mets running up the pitch count on pitchers. That's a good thing. Because it's not just Soto who's got a good command of the strike zone. Brandon Nimmo is also very patient at the plate. And so when you get both of those guys to the plate in the first inning, you can very quickly get your pitchers, the opposing pitcher's pitch count up to 15 or 20 pitches, which is just awesome, as you're trying to wear him down. Vientos at the plate, Soto on third, Nimmo on first. There's 2 outs in the in the top of the first inning. So appreciate everybody hanging out with us here today. We are MetropoliFins. We're YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. Fastball high, 1-1 strike on Vientos. Swing and a miss by Vientos, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Crowd is cheering. They want the strikeout on Vientos. Vientos needs to put this ball into play here. Ball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Marky V. Yep, and they just said his pitch count is up to 20 already, which is great. Obviously, we want to score runs, but anytime that, even if you can't score runs, if you can run up the pitcher's pitch count in the first inning, and Vientos does strike out swinging there, so that is going to end the first. But they get 21 pitches out of the pitcher. Soto has another double, needs his teammates around him to come through. So I'm liking the start of the season for Soto and Nimmo, not so much for Lindor and Pete struggling a little bit to do it, but all right, we're at the bottom of the first now because I was behind, so get caught up on commercial break. So Altuve will be leading off. Griffin Canning will be the pitcher for the Mets. Casey, you like the Mets and the Yankees? I've met a few people who like the Mets and the Yankees in my life. They're harder to find than just fans of one or the other team, because there's lots of people who hate one and love the other, or vice versa. But that's awesome. I didn't see the final score, but the Yankees homered on the first 3 pitches of the game today. I saw that highlight. 3 pitches in the game, you're down 3-0 on 3 home runs. That was a beautiful start of the game for the Yankees. One ball, 2 strikes on Jose Altuve. So we're just hanging out with you, talking some baseball while I'm out doing some food delivery, hanging out with you. So make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. Online Poker Rush, yeah. What was the final score of that game? Sometime when I stop, I'll do a full scoreboard update. But I just saw the highlight. I just saw 3 home runs on the first 3 pitches of the game. All right, I just got myself a pizza order. I'm going to head to Papa John's. So I'm going to go pick up a pizza. 20-9. Wow, that is going off. Judge hit 4 today? Nuts. That's so crazy. Well, I mean, that's just going to be the way the Yankees are going to have to win this year. They're going to have to win, I think, more with the bats and win those shootouts, and I think occasionally the Mets are going to have to win that way, but it's got to feel good for everybody in the clubhouse. What a great day. What a great day for the Yankees. I got 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jose Altuve. Vientos makes a diving stop, throws to first, but is not able to get him in time. So good defensive stop by Vientos, but not able to get Altuve. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, So I don't want to spoil a ton of stuff, but I got to interview a Major League Baseball player today. That's all I'm going to say. And he also is a Hall of Famer. So a Major League Baseball player who is a Hall of Famer. I got to interview him today. And I asked an interesting question that I've always kind of wondered. And I said, you know, fans are like big on rivalries. They're like, do players care about the rivalries a lot? And he said, I'll paraphrase, because we're going to release the interview on the channel. But essentially he said, within baseball, it's much more of a camaraderie. It's a brotherhood. It's not really like, yeah, there's teams that I want to beat. And he's like, my opponent was the pitcher. He was a very cool. Yeah, no, I'm very excited to do it. I got to get everything. I got to make sure it's really good. But he said, my opponent was the pitcher. And of course, there were certain teams we wanted to beat. But he said baseball as a whole is much more of a brotherhood than a rivalry. And yeah, he shared that. So he actually came and was teaching our Little League team hitting at practice. So imagine go to Little League practice and there's a Hall of Famer who's known for his hitting prowess there. Like, it was pretty cool. So I won't spoil it. I'll just put some teasers out here. But yep, exactly. And so it's like, I'm a fan of rivalries. I just want to keep them fun and clean, like on this channel. So, because there's plenty of places you can go and be angry and mean with people. Like, keep it clean, be silly, keep everything just like on that super simple, fun end of things. All right, let me go grab this order here. Hopefully it's ready. Some pizza and some wings. All right, we just got a strike them out, throw them out. We get 2 outs in the inning here for the Mets. Yeah, see, so like here's the, I appreciate it, Poker Rush, and that's what we're going for. Like, there's a lot of good sports channels out there that have great coverage, but the problem with almost all of them is I can't sit and watch them with my kids. So my tentative slogan for the channel is family friendly and F-bomb free. But that doesn't mean you can't have rivalries. Like, I just want it to be simple. I've got so many bigger, more important things in life that I have genuine concerns for. Like, for me, I want sports to be my fun outlet. Like, for me, that's what I need sports to be. Sports needs to be a fun outlet. It's not anything that I want to be like super serious about. And like, I want to take the channel seriously and do my best to provide quality content for everybody. But Yeah, and so I mean, obviously as we grow, it'll get tougher, but my goal is to attract a bunch of people who are like that, and then eventually we'll mod up all the people who are kind of on board with the whole vibe of this channel. So yeah, exactly. I mean, if I were to ever do a politics channel, and I will not, but if I were, that's exactly the vibe I would want it to be. It would be open discussion, you know, and just have fun with it. Yordan Alvarez at the plate for the Astros now. Nobody on. So after Altuve got on, he got, I don't know if it's considered doubled off, but it was a strike him out, throw him out, double play. I think that's doubled up. Yeah. Well, and the other thing is, I mean, ultimately, I want to find, like, I just want to surround myself with people who are positive and uplifting and want the best. You know, like that's the stuff that I want to focus on, and so I got to make sure that I'm putting out the same thing that I want to attract as well. So Yordan Alvarez flies out to Nimmo, and that's going to retire the side. So each of the Mets and the Astros had a hit, but no runs scored after one. Going to the top of the second. It is nothing. Oh yeah, absolutely. The Subway Series is going to be fire. I mean, I'm not opposed to a Subway Series World Series again either. Like, I know the rest of the country probably wouldn't care one bit, but honestly, I don't care. And I mean, as a Mets fan, beggars can't be choosers, right? So it's like, I just want a World Series appearance regardless of who we face. So, oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be nuts there, and I'm sure there's plenty of crazy, wild, angry fans. We can just represent it from the fun side. So that's what we're going to work with, and that's why it's like, hey, I'd like to have the fun. Yeah, no, I know. I am more concerned about the Phillies than the Braves. I actually picked the Phillies to win the division. I picked the Phillies to win the NL East. Their pitching is so good, and you know, you got a solid pitching staff plus Bryce Harper. That's, like, to me, that's good enough to win a division many years. And then of course they have more than just Harper in that lineup too. So, and doesn't mean the Braves aren't going to make moves, but obviously the Braves getting out to an 0-2 start that works for me. So we are in between innings. You are not missing any of the action. Is nothing, top of the second inning. Oh, I agree. I watched the end of the Dodgers game last night, and it was just, they were playing the Tigers. Tigers played so well, and it just didn't matter. It's like, it's definitely one of the best lineups that's existed in modern times. You know, at least since the 90s, one of the best lineups since the 90s. I think, so I'm of the, I don't know who you think, I think the Orioles are the stronger threat in the AL East. I just think that they are a young team that's hungry with nothing to lose, and they got their playoff experience. They remind me a lot of the Royals, you know, of say 10 years ago when that whole crew came up. They're fun, they're dynamic. I think, so Poker Rush, this whole start to the season schedule is messed up. So I've outlined a couple of things that I haven't really liked about it. One, on opening day, they had one game start at 3. Every other game started at 4. One game started at 7, and 2 games started at 10. Like, there was no 1 o'clock games, no noon games, no 2 o'clock games. It was like, you've got to, MLB needs to take a picture of that. And then what's nuts too, there's a bunch of teams that don't play tomorrow afternoon on a Sunday. Like, what? You've got kids who are home from school tomorrow who could sit and watch their team play, and it's like, who wrote a schedule that doesn't have teams playing on Sunday afternoon? Because it's just weird. Like, I don't understand, and I don't understand why you have games on Thursday and then give teams the off day on Friday. Like, we're ready for baseball to start. Like, if it's a big deal, just start opening day on the Friday. Play games all day. Start them at like 11 a.m. like the Red Sox do for Patriots Day. Just have a game starting at 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30. I don't care. They should have games starting and ending throughout the whole day so people could just binge watch baseball. And start with putting some teams against each other. Yeah, I agree. Like, obviously there are things that I don't like about schedule or like rule and schedule changes. I'm an old school classic fan. I understand they're trying to maximize things, but the problem is ultimately that I think baseball faces is they need to make sure that this game, the game of baseball, doesn't become something different than what kids are playing in Little League. You know, and condition the Patriots without Bill Belichick. True blessings. Hey, appreciate you being here. I am a Dolphins fan for football, so I think it's crazy to see how little prep the Patriots did for life after Brady. And as a Dolphins fan, it reminds me a lot about how the Dolphins handled life after Marino. They just had zero realistic plan in place. All right, I am at a gate here dropping off a pizza delivery. Gotta type in a gate code. Yeah. Did that not work? Call.
Try it again.
Hold on. I'm trying to get into this place. Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, the Dolphins are still rebuilding since Marino. I mean, the Raiders have been rebuilding for like seemingly 2 decades now too, right? So, I mean, it's the problem with the NFL is you have to hit on the quarterback, and if you can't hit on the quarterback, all right, the Mets are out of the top of the second there, so it's still nothing. Yeah, exactly. Like when you've experienced it with your own team, it's like, yeah, it's hard until you can figure out the quarterback. And then the problem is there's no patience whatsoever. I mean, I would say 75 to 80% of Dolphins fans are just done with Tua. And I'm like, I mean, maybe Tua's not going to get us there, but I'm going to tell you that Tua's a better quarterback than any of the others we've had since Marino. Like, by far. Like, yeah, I get it. His injuries have hurt him, but, like, what are you going to do? Like, because if you move on from Tua, you dismantle this whole thing, which, honestly, I think is probably, there's a chance that that's what the Dolphins are going to do if they don't win this year. It's just, but then it's another 3-5 years. Like, every time you miss on a quarterback, it's like a 5-year project, unless you're willing to move on really fast. So, I don't know. It's really tough to win in the NFL without the quarterback, and it's tough to find the quarterback that you need to hit. So, well, starting from scratch, then knockout. I guess maybe that's a little more semantics or whatever, but All right, hold on. I got to go drop off this pizza and wings here really quick. I will be right back with everybody. All right, so they were talking about the Yankees thing today. All right, Mets do retire the Astros here in the bottom of the second inning, but they were saying first time in baseball history that the first three batters of the game homered on the first three pitches of the game. That's one of the things, this is why one of the reasons why I love baseball. There's so many things, like when you go to the ballpark, there's always a chance you can see something that has never happened before. Like, yeah, the vast majority of games are going to be kind of your normal games, not super memorable, but there's just always a chance of something cool happening like that. All right. So we dropped off our pizza and wings. We finally found the customer. It was a very confusing little complex here, but we're good. So we're going to head back downtown. We're going to look for some more food orders. We're going to the top of the third inning. It is 0-0. Yeah, I think probably how you call it at a certain point, yeah, it does, is like, you've got to get the culture right, and then you got to get the quarterback right. And then even if you do all of that, it's still so hard to win in the NFL. You know, I mean, you look at the Chargers, you look at the Bengals, like, I think the Chargers finally got the culture right, but I mean, they got the quarterback right. You can say whatever, Burrow or Herbert is not your favorite quarterback, but I mean, at a certain point, you just got to say, like, look, this is a top of the line quarterback in the NFL. Get the quarterback right, and you still just have to hope that everything is going to go your way, no injuries. I mean, I honestly believe that if Tua didn't have the concussion issues that he had, that he'd be in the same talks with all those other top quarterbacks, and who knows what the Dolphins might have done some of those seasons. So, but I do think for the Dolphins, this is probably their year. Is this Jose Siri up? Yeah, Jose Siri is getting his first plate appearance of the year for the Mets. No balls and 2 strikes to Jose Siri. Swing and a miss by Siri. That's going to retire him. So he's going to strike out here. So 1 out, top of the 3rd inning, still 0-0. And we're back to the top of the Mets lineup, so that'll be Francisco Lindor, also who does not have a hit yet this year. So Lindor and Soto are the next 2 that are due up for the Mets here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us here tonight. Two balls, no strikes to Lindor. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike to Francisco Lindor. Score is 0-0. Top of the 3rd inning. I was hoping the Mets were going to bust out like the Yankees did today. Redman, yeah. Well, when you put Jose Siri in, you know he's going to strike out a lot. He's in there for his defense. So that's why they have him in the 9 hole. I mean, he can occasionally crush one. High fly ball to shallow center. And Lindor is retired once again, so he remains hitless on the season. Lindor is awesome. Just getting off to his normal start of the year slump. So Lindor's 0 for 9. And everybody's favorite New York Met from all teams, Juan Soto is at the plate. Don't worry about Brett Beatty. Don't worry about Brett Beatty. One ball, one strike to Juan Soto here. Top of the third inning with 2 outs. Nobody on for the Mets. Soto's going to hit a home run. Let's see. Redman's calling the Soto homer. It's a good spot for him to be swinging. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Or is that 2 balls and 1 strike? High and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Soto has reached base in 6 of his 10 plate appearances, so he's got an on-base percentage of .600. So he is doing everything that the Mets were hoping. Fastball high, it's a full count to Juan Soto. Doesn't like swinging at those bad pitches, so. Soto hits the ball, grounds the ball to second base. And that is going to end the inning. So a good at bat for Soto in terms of working the pitch count, but unable to get on base there. But don't underestimate the value of things like that, of an at bat where you just keep working the count, make the pitcher pitch. Soto is Mets. Let's go Soto. Let's go Mets. All right, going to the bottom of the third inning. Griffin Canning is pitching well so far. Yep, let's keep it that way. Hey, if Griffin Canning can be just even somewhat decent, take so much pressure off of this team while they're waiting for Montas and Manaea to get back from injury. We're driving around looking for an order here, going to the bottom of the third inning. Score is 0-0. Griffin Canning pitching well for the Mets. I know, no game tomorrow. What is up with that, Red Man? You gotta have Sunday baseball. The scheduling for the start of the season is just not anything. I think it's just stretching the arms out, Red Man. So that's part of it. Their arms aren't ready to pitch 100+ pitches yet. And then the other part is when you're pitching, in order to get to the 7th inning, you got to be more efficient. So you've got to figure out how to keep your pitch counts like under 12 per inning. You know, you need faster innings. There's a strikeout there to start the inning. Nobody on, 1 out. Bottom of the 3rd inning. It is 0-0. Another nice stop by Vientos at 3rd. Fires to 1st, and that's going to be the 2nd out of the inning. Vientos is playing some good 3rd. He made a diving stop earlier. Wasn't able to get the runner at 1st, but still stopped an extra base hit. So Vientos is playing some ball at 3rd. You know, if his defense can be solid, it bails him out even if he struggles with a bat a little bit at the start of the season. How's it going, KC? Appreciate you hanging out with us here tonight. It is 0-0. Bottom of the 3rd inning here. Hey, they were my surprise pick to make the playoffs as a wild card this year, Casey. So, how's Trout looking this season? Hopefully he will just stay healthy and just get back to being at least 80%. Yeah, I mean, I think, hey, if you can win a pitcher's duel, that's good. I mean, my pick is completely contingent on Mike Trout staying healthy. So I've got Mike Trout as a low-key MVP candidate this year. And in order for that to happen, the Angels have to make the playoffs. In order for the Angels to make the playoffs, Mike Trout has to be an MVP caliber player. So I'm just kind of joining those two things together. All right, there's a walk by Griffin Canning here, so it's going to bring up Altuve with 1 runner on. 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Oh for 6 start for Trout. That's all right. Francisco Lindor is 0 for 9 to start the season, so nobody here is worried. As long as it's not related to something injury-wise, I'd have 0 concerns about Trout. Okay. I just feel like getting hit in the hand is one of those things like you hear like a week later. Like, oh, we discovered a small fracture or something. Like, that's always scary stuff. Alexander! Ragnar! How's it going? All right, Altuve at the plate for the Astros here. Foul ball, 1 ball, 1 strike to Altuve. Score is 0-0. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 1 out. While we're listening to Mets, I'm also out here just doing some food delivery, making some money here. One ball and 2 strikes here to Altuve. Well, welcome everybody hanging out. We are MetropoliFins. We're YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. Sometimes we do this from home, but some nights I also have to work. And tonight's one of those nights, so and do that. There is no game tomorrow, so kind of have a day to reflect on how the season has started for the Mets and what you like or don't like about it. Hopefully they can go into the day off with a win. The Yankees absolutely mashed today. That is definitely the baseball story of the day. All right, and Griffin Canning gets Altuve to ground out, so that, I guess there were 2 outs, not just 1 out. Sorry, I had that wrong. But that is going to retire us out. We're going to go to the top of the 4th. It is 0-0. Redman, yeah, well, there's a lot of pitchers who can't make it through the lineup more than twice. Little Jose. Yeah. He came into spring training as like our number 7 or 8 starter. And 2 of our starters got hurt. So he's going to end up as the number 5. All right, we just got ourselves an order from Panera. So I've got to get turned around here because we just drove past it. So we're going to go find, hopefully this order is ready nice and quick. Yeah, you want old Pete Alonso back? You might see him this year. The only question is, I mean, this is the big issue with Pete is you want the old Pete Alonso, but you don't want old Pete Alonso. And I think that's the Mets' concerns about locking him in super long term is it's a power hitters, first baseman tend to not age well. There are some that do fine, but many don't. So that's, I think, kind of put the Mets in a little bit of a conundrum of not really wanting to be super long-term committed. In my opinion, the best way to see Pete Alonso as a long-term New York Met is to see the Mets win the World Series this year. I think if the Mets win the World Series this year, the Mets will be much more likely to kind of throw a bone to Pete and say, hey, thanks for bringing us the World Series. And we want to give you, I'm not saying like a 10-year deal or anything like that, but maybe they throw him like a 5-year deal or something along those lines. All right, so we're going to pull into Panera here really quick. One ball, one strike. Pete Alonso is at the plate, Redman, as we speak. Three balls and one strike to Pete Alonso. Pete's got a 1-for-6 start to the season so far. All right, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sorry, I gotta leave. I gotta go pick up this order. We'll see. I'll be right back with you guys. All right, it's not ready. It's not going to be ready for a couple of minutes, so I'm going to hang out with you guys. Because this is Uber Eats, so I don't care. We'll wait it out. Pete Alonso and Brandon Nimmo both ended up making out. So there's 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Mark Vientos is at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike to Marky V. Pete is not happy. As long, the best thing the Mets can do right now to help all the guys who are off to slow starts is just win. Because as long as you win, then that buys time for everybody to work through all of the things they need to work through at the plate. Two balls and 2 strikes to Mark Vientos here. Vientos chops it back to the pitcher, and he is thrown out at first. All right, so we're just waiting for them to do this. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is a 0-0 game. So I was hoping we were going to see a Yankee-like outburst. Maybe not quite that crazy, but 6, 7, 8 runs. Instead, we've got more of a pitcher's duel going on here. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. We are MetropoliFins, YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. So if you haven't yet done so, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Help us grow this channel, and maybe someday I won't have to be doing food delivery while I'm doing Mets coverage. So we're going to have fun with it while we can, but I would rather not have to be doing both at the same time. Yeah, Griffin Canning, familiar with the Astros, Casey? We are currently on commercial break, so you guys are not missing anything right now. Love Carlos Mendoza so much. Hope they give him... Yeah, I mean, as long as the Mets keep growing and expanding, I think he is probably the most well-loved manager the Mets have had in a long time. So, I don't see any reason why the Mets won't extend him as long as the Mets keep playing well and winning. Winning leads to extensions for all these guys. Production on the field and winning. Those 2 things, if you can do those 2 things, you're going to be in good shape. But honestly, when you look at the overall starting of the Mets pitching staff so far, like Clay Holmes did give up 3 runs that first game. McGill gave up 1 run yesterday, I believe. And then none for Canning today. And the Mets bullpen has been phenomenal as well. So who would have thunk it that the Mets bats is the thing that's holding them back right now from really being a dominant team. So we'll see how that plays out. I agree. All right. I'm going to run, since the Astros are up right now, I'm going to just go run and check on that order. See if it's ready. And if it is, we'll get going to drop it off. So I will be right back. I want to check my green screen. Do I have... That's not what I wanted to do. No, that's not what I wanted. We'll turn it off. I forgot. I got to upload a Mets green screen so I can have a Mets background on here. I don't think there's an easy way for me to do that. All right, I'll be right back with you guys. All right, that order is finally ready. So we're right back with you. Isak Paredes is up for the Astros. I'll reset the game here really quick before I get driving again, and then I can keep you updated on everything. So Griffin Canning just walked Isak Paredes. So Yordan Alvarez is at the plate. It is 0-0. Bottom of the 4th inning. Tell the Astros to lose. I will let them know, Red Man. I will let them know. So yeah, it's 0-0. Bottom of the 4th inning. Astros have a runner on first. Nobody out. Griffin Canning pitching well overall, though you don't like to see those leadoff walks. You were asking, Red Man, before, why don't the Mets starters go deeper into games? This is why. You can't have leadoff walks. It ends up being, it's not just the walk itself. It's not just the fact that it was a 6-pitch at bat, or however many pitches it was. It was at least 6, I think. So it's not just that. It's the fact now he's got to pitch with stress because he's got to pitch with the runner on first. Maybe have to make more throwovers and everything. So everything compounds on itself. No balls and 2 strikes to Yordan Alvarez here. It's 0-0 Mets. And Astros, bottom of the 4th inning. We're out covering Mets baseball, hanging out with you guys. Sometimes we like to do, well, we prefer to do this sitting at home, where I've got Gamecast. I'm actually watching the game right now. I'm just listening to the game. But fortunately, we have amazing Mets announcers that give good descriptions. Swing and a miss. And Yordan Alvarez is retired, so there's a first out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Griffin Canning is doing well. Just got to eliminate those walks. Yeah, double playtime. Get out of this inning. That sounds good to me, Casey. First pitch is a strike here. No balls and 1 strike. I like seeing that. Like seeing those first pitch strikes. Hey, there it is. We got that double play. Vientos to Beatty to Alonso. There you go. 3 homegrown Mets pulling off the double play. Griffin Canning, kudos to you. You're pitching awesome tonight. So it is 0-0 going to the top of the 5th inning. We need these bats to wake up, Mets. I believe Aaron Getty is the name of the pitcher that the Astros are pitching. Let's get some hits. Let's get some runners. Let's get some runs. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight. I hope you are doing well. Yeah, Francisco Lindor needs to hit one. Well, Siri's in there, obviously, for his defense and occasionally for his power. So I think Siri's going to probably get up this inning. So let's just see a Siri homer. Then he can strike out his next 3 plate appearances. That's fine. Let's get on the board. Let's put some pressure on the Astros here. Get some runs. Thank you, Redman. Appreciate the kind words. Like I said, I'm doing the best I can with listening to the stream in my ear. And the way you guys can help me, just hit that like, hit that subscribe. So we've got a couple miles to go on this delivery here of some Panera stuff. Jesse Winker's going to lead off. I got some chicken noodle soup, turkey and cheese sandwich, and a chicken Asiago bagel. One ball and 2 strikes to Jesse Winker. Jesse Winker? Winger. Thinking about wings. That's what I'm thinking about. Jesse Winger. I'm getting hungry. I haven't really had anything to eat today. High fly ball to center field. Flies out right at the wall. That's going to be the first out of the inning here. Terens grounds out to second on the first pitch of the at-bat. That's not what you're looking for here. Well, now Jose Siri can just go up and swing for a home run at this point for sure. It's probably what he was going to do anyway, but no outs, or I mean nobody on and 2 outs. Turn the lineup over. I think it's Siri who's up, right? Oh wait, no, it's Beatty. Okay, let's get Beatty on here first. Let's get Beatty on. It's Beatty, then Siri. And the top line. So you want to, one of the things you want to do here, like as a baseball team, Beatty's job is to get on base. Here. Even if the Mets don't score. This is some of like the behind the scenes stuff. These are things that like I think about when I'm coaching the Little League team. It's like you're trying to help your players do something that's going to help the team. And so obviously you always want to score runs, but it would be so much better for this lineup if Lindor can lead off next inning as opposed to Jose Siri. Now, obviously Lindor's not off to a great start, but still, as a whole, you want your leadoff hitter to lead off the inning if possible. "12 Mets in a row have been retired, so not a lot of offense tonight. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brett Beatty. See, even a walk here, right? And in addition, it just increases the stress on the pitcher. It's got to pitch to one more batter. How's it going, Michael? Appreciate you hanging out here with us. See if Brett Beatty can get on base here in the top of the 5th inning to extend the inning. We're just about to our drop-off here. Beatty fouls that one away. 2 balls and 2 strikes still. I'm pretty sure I've delivered to this apartment before. This feels familiar. All right, well, Beatty's still at the plate here, so I gotta go drop this off because they're hungry and waiting for their food. I'll be right back with you guys. Don't go anywhere. Let me know what happens with Brett Beatty down in the comments. All right, Brett Beatty ends up striking out. I gotta verify my identity for Uber Eats. All right, so we're gonna head right back towards downtown. Well, I don't know if we'll deliver the entire night. We might though. We might. We gotta make some money because rent is due. Anybody else in that boat? Gotta make enough money for rent. So appreciate everybody hanging out. So the Mets do not do anything that inning. I believe it's 13 Mets in a row retired. So definitely some offensive concerns to start the season for the Mets, but I'm also not in the panic mode. And again, one of the things that's most notable is it's not Juan Soto. Soto's on base percentage is like 560 or something like that. 555, I think. 6 out of 11 plate appearances. Did you chase on that one? Yeah, so everybody, you can tell kind of the team is slightly stressing out right now because everybody's trying to Everybody's trying to make that play. All right. Bottom of the 5th inning here. Jeremy Pena leads off for the Houston Astros. I'm assuming Griffin Canning is still pitching for the Mets. There's no reason not. He's pitching an absolute gem so far. 2 balls and no strikes to Pena. Two balls and 1 strike. Got him swinging on a slider. 2 balls and 1 strike. It is 0-0. Bottom of the 5th inning. Got the pitcher's duel going on of Aaron Getty versus Canning. I bet you nobody was predicting that when spring training started. But baseball's a funny sport. It is a home run. 1-0 Astros. People just cut out and stop right in the middle of the road. Absolutely unbelievable. This is why I can't watch the game. Got to deal with all these crazy drivers out here. People have no idea where they're wanting to go. All right, so it is 1-0 Astros, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So we knew the Mets were going to have to score runs regardless. Now they really need to score some runs. I wonder if Jeremy Pena is set for a nice bounce back season. He had that great playoffs a couple years ago and then kind of took some steps backwards. I haven't followed him too much, but I know he had like just that absolute amazing playoff run with the Astros. Two balls, no strikes. Canning is starting to get behind these batters too, so this is that's not a recipe for success. Two balls and 1 strike. That's the same count he had Jeremy Pena in. All right, here we go. Let me get you guys a reset. Now that we're parked, I can actually get caught up on comments and chat and all those good things. We've got no actual orders at the moment, so we're just kind of chilling. Mauricio Dubon is up for the Astros. 2 balls and 2 strikes. To Debon. So, again, you can't be expecting your pitchers to be like throwing shutouts and everything. So this is, as long as this doesn't go downhill any further, this is still a great performance. By the way, I am still rocking the Mets sweatshirt here. Knockout, great question. Well, I think it's well, I'm not going to judge too much based off the first couple of games. Canning does get out of the inning, so we're going to go to the top of the 6th. Astros are up 1-0. Astros are up 1-0 here as we go to the top of the 6th. So I think the Mets are going to go as far as their pitching takes them in key games. So I know there's going to be a battle in the NL East, but I do think with the current playoff structure, I just don't know how important home field advantage and first round buys really are. I kind of think it hurts a little bit because you just get out of the rhythm of playing every day. It's like, yes, for some players the rest is good, but for other players, they just need that regularity. And I wonder if you'll start seeing some of the teams who have first round buys. I think it's 2 of them in each league. But even if it's just 1, I don't, whatever. Play some scrimmages and actually get on the field and play. You don't have to play a lot, but instead of taking off, 5 or 6 days in a row, I wonder if you start seeing teams. But anyway, point being, I think the Mets are going to go as far as their pitching will take them. Their starting pitching, their bullpen. I have plenty of confidence in this lineup, in this offense. It's going to maybe take a while for everybody to gel and everything to really work out, but I don't have particular concerns about this offense in general. So it's just, what is the pitching going to do? Is the pitching going to be able to hold up? Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you, Knockout. So with that being said, I did predict the Mets to go to the World Series and lose this year. I have the Orioles beating the Mets in the World Series, but it's projecting things out. Your dad is Mets Jets, you're Mets Chiefs. Okay. My brother-in-law is Mets Jets. I'm Mets Dolphins. It's usually Mets Jets, right? Most Mets fans are Jets fans. Most Yankees fans are Giants fans. I think that's how it works, right? Jose Siri is leading off for the Mets. Artie Lang tells a great Jets joke. Let me see is that something that I can easily search? Because we're not driving anywhere right now, so I can just... Gotcha. Yeah, we are family friendly and F-bomb free. That's our thing. I'll see if I can look it up though. Gotcha. I found it. I found the joke. Knockout. Is it about into the Jets and then getting into girls? Is it that joke? So it's how it feels. Yeah, I found it. I was able to find the joke. So thank you for not actually posting the joke, but you can just type in Artie Lang Jets joke and you'll find it. Your favorite announcement. What's your favorite announcement? Family friendly and F-bomb free. MetropoliFins. Doesn't mean the teams don't make me want to throw a curse word every now and then, that's for sure. But the whole goal, not the whole goal, one of the goals of this channel, though, is to create a sports channel that people can just sit down and watch as a family. Because there's lots of good sports content creators out there, but just not a lot that I can trust that their language and topics will stay on. So it's like, all right, if I can't find it, I'm just going to create it. Appreciate it, Knockout. Same to you. Have a good night. By the way, Jose Siri did get on base while we were doing all of that. I actually missed it. Jose Siri walked, so that's great. We will absolutely take it. Siri just dove back on a... Oh yeah, I got to remember. I can't... I have to call him Jose Alexa, because otherwise my iPhone goes weird. And Jose Siri steals second. So this is what Siri brings you. He's going to bring you a ton of strikeouts. But if he can get on base, hey, we're going to take this. This is a $28 order. It's going really far. It's going like, well, hold on. Is this any better? Hold on. Yeah, we're going to take this one. All right, Jose Siri gets over to third base now. Siri gets to third on a fly out by Francisco Lindor, but that's going to have a runner on third with one out. So now you get Soto up. I'm going to bring you guys with me because this restaurant usually kind of has a long wait. I don't know how well the signal will be. Soto grounds out, but then Siri breaks for home after the throw is made, and he scores. The Mets tie it up. It is 1-1 on some aggressive heads-up base running by Jose Siri. So again, Siri's going to give you lots of strikeouts, but he can be absolutely dynamic with his speed when he gets on base. So it is 1-1 New York Mets. So Juan Soto, just by putting the ball into play, helps get that run home. So that's a big thing to all of this. All right, we're gonna hang out in a restaurant here. It's a sushi restaurant. Lots of cool colors. 1-1. They brought me back.
What you got?
I have two. I've got Alicia and Melissa.
Okay.
พี่นิ้วขา
ว่าไงจ๊ะ
ซีรีส์แมงโก้
พี่ไปก่อนแป๊บหนึ่งเดี๋ยวพี่จำอันนี้ก่อน
ได้ค่ะ
พ
Finally got caught up a little bit here. Looks like.
I'm sorry.
You finally got caught up? It was really busy when I was in before. You were busy here.
Yes. Really busy.
I saw that whole back section. Was that one big party back there?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Da. Give me a second.
All right.
Can you shake item?
That's, yeah. All right, strike 3 to Pete Alonso, so that's going to end the inning. I'm back. All right, so I have Alicia, so that one's good, and then I also have Melissa. And then Melissa, so we're all good.
Yeah. A little bit crazy, but
Yeah.
crazy, yeah.
We're good. This one of these is close. The other one is like way down past Lely, so I don't know if I'll make it back tonight. It is. It's like 16 miles or something like that. What was that?
How much did you get?
It's like 26 for the pair, and it could be more. So
Could be more.
Yes.
yeah.
But it's
So
not bad.
so sometimes they add more afterwards. So
Yeah.
we'll see. They like tipping for you guys. You're a good tipping restaurant. Have a good night. All right, we got our orders picked up. And we're on commercial break, so you guys aren't missing anything. We've got like a nice, I got to do one little drop off on the way, but it's basically like a 16-mile drive, something like that. So we'll be able to keep you updated. Hopefully the signal on this phone will be good all the way out there. So Pete Alonso did end up striking out to end that inning, but the Mets scored one on aggressive base run. Actually scored a run on no hits. So a walk, a stolen base, a sacrifice, I think it was a sacrifice fly, and then Siri broke for home after Juan Soto had a ground out, basically, or while they were throwing to get him out at first. Then Pete Alonso struck out, so, but the Mets did tie it up. I gotta load my car here for the food that I just picked up, because we're doing food delivery here, talking New York Mets. And so I will get you guys all caught up in a second. Sorry for the weird camera angles and everything. All right, let me get you guys all caught up. So as you come on in, hit that like, hit that subscribe. To get the car all set up. And now we're just gonna be driving for a while. Got some little rain showers going on here tonight. Show you guys a little bit. Rain on the window. All right, and then I gotta get my feed cut out. So let me get my, so our first drop off's like 3 miles down the road. All right. It is Chas McCormick at the plate. No ball, or sorry, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No outs. Bottom of the 6th inning. Mets and Astros are all tied up at 1. It has been hard to find hits. 3 hits total in this entire game. So we're going to do some food delivery, talking Mets. Grounder to second. Beatty throws to first to retire the out. Jose Altuve is coming to the plate. Mendoza does not look like he's going to pull Canning out yet. It's the third time through the lineup. Altuve grounds it past Vientos at third, so that'll be a single here with one out. Just the third hit for the Astros, just the fourth hit of the game. Canning could really use another double play. He got a big double play earlier tonight. He could use a double play right here to get out of this inning. One ball, one strike. Altuve at first, Yordan Alvarez on deck. Yordan Alvarez has traditionally hit Griffin Canning pretty well. So this is probably going to be Canning's last batter. That's why you'd love to see him get the double play here. Two balls and one strike to Isaac Paredes. Jose Butto is getting ready in the Mets bullpen, so if Canning needs help to get out of this inning, that is probably the go-to person. Called strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got a slow roller to Vientos. Vientos throws a second to get the lead runner. They're not able to turn the double play. All right, they are going to leave Canning in the game. So Canning coming into tonight was Yordan Alvarez was 7 for 13 in his career against Canning coming into tonight. However, Canning has gotten him out twice tonight, so he has earned the chance to try to get him out the third time. Try to get out of this 6th inning. 2 balls and 1 strike to Yordan Alvarez. 2 outs, runner on first. Two outs in the 6th. Foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Canning needs 1 more. 1 more strike to get out of this inning. So let's see if Canning can pull this off. This would be huge. Fly ball hits the wall. And it is going to score a run. So Yordan Alvarez did get him the 3rd time. It is a 2-1 lead. Astros over the Mets. Mendoza gave him a chance and just couldn't quite do it. Good quality pitching performance by Cannington. You gotta imagine that is gonna be it. We are almost to our first drop off here of these 2 sushi orders, and it's also going to be a commercial break for a pitching change. Jose Buto will be coming in for the Mets. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. 1 run in. I believe Yordan Alvarez ended up on second base after that double off the wall. I believe it was a double off the wall. The hit off the wall, I believe. So the Astros retake the lead at 2-1. All right, I got to figure out where exactly this drop off is, so I make sure I get the sushi order to the right place. I think it's this one here. So you're on commercial break, not missing any of the action as we speak. Yep. All right, so we found the place. All right. 4021. Make sure I have the right bags. All right. I'll be right back. All right, that order has been dropped off. Now I gotta get out, turned around here in this little parking lot. And now we got 14 more miles to drive for this second order, so. All right, Griffin Canning's not too happy giving up that last hit. He obviously wanted to get through the sixth, but didn't quite have it. Still a great performance for Griffin Canning tonight. Three balls, 2 strikes is the count. Jose Buto. This is his first appearance of the spring. And he got him swinging, strikeout. So Buto comes in, continues the streak of Mets relievers not giving up any runs. We are headed to the top of the 7th inning. However, the Mets are now down 2-1 to the Astros, and they need some runners. They need some hits. They only have 1 hit in this game. So hold on 1 second here. I'll be right back with you. Good evening, everybody. How are you guys doing? We're going to do a nice little reset here. We're going to the top of the 7th inning. It is Astros 2, Mets 1, going to the top of the 7th. Griffin Canning pitched really well. Unfortunately, could not get Yordan Alvarez out. That just gave the Astros a 2-1 lead. The Mets do not have any hits other than Juan Soto's double today. So we need the offense to start showing up. Nimmo is leading off, and Nimmo is a great leadoff hitter. So we'll see. We'll see what he can do. Love Big Buto. Cannot lie. Let's see. Let's see. Well, I mean, I'm assuming they're going to leave him in for more than just the one batter. Being that so many other pitchers have gotten to pitch, you might as well let him pitch a little bit more. Unless there's some major matchup coming up that... But look, how are you doing tonight, Jonathan? Appreciate you hanging out tonight. We're on our way to deliver some sushi. Like 15 miles away. my stream go out. Don't go out, stream. Wow, we got way behind here. All right. Well, somehow Nimmo got out. Vientos is up. And then Vientos pops out. It's going to be 2 outs already in the top of the 7th inning here. So, Mets are going to get it around to the top of the lineup for the 9th, it looks like. But, man, this team is really struggling to string some hits together. Again, I don't think this is panic time, but it certainly is frustrating that it feels like as soon as the regular season kicked in, these Mets batters kind of got back into some old bad habits and stuff. And I don't want to hear anybody like picking on individual players. First of all, nobody should say anything about Soto, because Soto's the one who's actually hitting, getting on base, and having long at bats. But beyond that, it's everybody. Yeah, I don't understand why we're having so much trouble working counts. We're making some poor contact and stuff like that. So it's baseball's hard. Baseball is hard, that is for sure. Two balls and no strikes is the count here. We got Starling Marte. I believe he's in as a pinch hitter, if I remember correct. Lee? Two balls and 2 strikes on Marte. Is it true that I'm a Yankee fan at heart? Don't tell me I was wrong with Iglesias. I mean, Soto magic should more than make up for Iglesias magic. It's that big task. Man, what a performance by the Yankees today. What a performance by the Yankees. Text my wife. I got them to set up the showing for Monday. So we are renting our place right now, and the person who owns it is also trying to sell it. So strike 3 called on Marte. My goodness. What? That's so we're going to the 7th. It is 2-1 Astros. Yeah, so in case you didn't catch, the Yankees, not only did they win 20-9, I believe was the score. For the first, they set a franchise record of 9 home runs in a game. And for the first time in baseball history today, the first 3 batters of the game homered on the first 3 pitches of the game. I just think it's phenomenal that something like that in all the years of baseball that have been played, that's the first time ever. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I understand that pinch hitting is hard. I'm not gonna come out and go like anybody could be a pinch hitter. It's hard, but I think that's why you've got to be aggressive with the bat when you're the pinch hitter. Especially I don't know. I'm not saying Marte is unhappy, but it's got to be a rough position for Marte to be in mentally when he knows the team tried to get rid of him, and here he is starting with the season. I mean, I think there was a fair argument to be made for the future of this club. It might have hurt the morale in the locker room, but I think there was an argument to be made to have Canario make the squad and not Marte, and just DFA Marte. Marte will catch on with the team, but yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I'm not watching the game, but I mean, from what it sounds like it was a strike down the middle. It's rough, you know. I mean, it's your job. You're the pinch hitter. Your job is to go up there and try to hit. And with 2 strikes, you got to defend. I mean, yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I do think that there was an argument to be made to have Canario to make this team as a team that's trying to get younger. It's nothing personal against Marte at all. And I'm sure the Mets are feeling some loyalty to him. But with how on fire Canario was at the end of the spring, I just wonder if Marte's head or heart is not really here. I don't know. I have not heard. I'm not going to check any updates. Has anyone heard on Canario? I hope we can sneak him through and get him back in AAA. I understand loyalty as a team, but at the same time, if you have the opportunity of bringing on a guy who could be a dynamic playmaker, it's tough. Baseball, those are hard decisions to make, because you know Marte's kind of part of the heart and soul of this team, but purely stat-wise and what he could contribute, you know, if Canario goes on to have a great career and the Mets know that they got rid of him to keep Marte, I mean, you already let Marte know you were trying to trade him, and no team wanted to trade him. I don't know. That's kind of my take. I don't think it's a huge deal, but you know, I think if Marte continues to go the route of that, hopefully it was just a really bad at bat at a wrong time. Just how the Mets have been working counts tonight, from what I'm hearing, I'm not impressed with their approach to the plate at the moment, other than Soto. I have no issues with Soto's approach, Soto's results. He's a professional hitter. He's showing why he's one of the best in the game. And even when Soto's making outs, right? He has the ground out that leads to Jose Siri scoring, puts the ball in play. He works the count, even if he makes an out, works the count to 3 balls, 2 strikes, makes the pitchers work. You're getting everything you want out of Soto. The rest of the team is just bat-wise not seeing what I want to see. Yeah. No, I mean, it's like I give credit to Jose Siri for his aggressiveness on the base paths, and I give credit to Soto, who's doing his thing. Everybody else is just not there. All right, well, the Mets do get out of that inning, so it is 2-1. Astros going to the top of the 8th, I believe, if my count is correct. By the way, I'm driving sushi 16 miles. That's what I'm doing right now, for those of you who care on it. I'll make sure my stream is caught up, but I have us going to commercial break. I think I'm pretty caught up. Maybe a little bit behind, but I think we're good here. So I still have like 7 more miles to go on my sushi run here. Yeah, no, there's speed on the base paths, but there's more than speed on the base paths too. I don't know what to call it other than like street smarts. It's like base path smarts, street smarts for the base paths. And you're going to have frustrating at-bats with Siri where he's going to strike out like he did in the first inning. But the trade-off is, one, he's going to be a great pinch runner off the bench. So that's huge. And the amount of ground he can cover in the outfield, which means less ground that Soto has to cover. You know, so I'm good with it. Like, he's not going to be an all-star or anything like that, but I'm okay with the dynamic he provides. And if he can definitely do the work on the base paths and make pitchers nervous, and again, I mean, it's not even, it was, you know, Siri doing that work, plus also Soto putting the ball in play, giving a chance for something to happen. So, all right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Luis Torrens is at the plate. So it's Torrens, Beatty, Siri, I believe, are due up. I don't have the lineup in front of me. I'll have to catch up on your chat in a little bit, Stan. It's hard to catch all of that. I do think, I was saying this in the stream last night, I think outfield defense is a little bit overrated. It's like, I mean, Altuve, from what it sounded like, it kind of sounded like he misplayed the ball that Soto hit earlier. You know, it's like, yeah, of course you want great defenders, but you can give up some runs in the outfield as long as you have a bat to make up for it. Or if you don't have the bat consistently, like Jose Siri, then you can make up for it by having the defense in the outfield. It's like, not every guy is going to have both. Most guys are not going to have both. With serviceable defense with a good bat, or a serviceable bat with good defense, that's all you need from your outfield. And when you can have someone like a Siri out there, or Tyrone Taylor, who can cover a lot of ground, then you minimize the impact of a Soto and whatever defensive deficiencies you might deem he has. You just minimize that impact by having a center fielder who has more range. Yep. It's interesting too, because you know, you kind of, as Mets fans, we're going to get to see the other side of Soto, that Torrens gets the walk. Good job, Torrens. I like that. A leadoff walk for the Mets here in the top of the 8th inning. They're going to pinch run for Torrens. I didn't catch who's coming in, but I gotta imagine it's like Tyrone Taylor. Just a guess. All right, Brett Beatty. It's time for you to show up and shut up the haters, Beatty. This is a great opportunity. You don't even have to like hit a home run here or anything. In the very least, let's get a productive out. No strikeouts. Make a productive out. Get the ball in play. Ideally a hit. Let's go, Beatty. I got 3 miles to go for this sushi delivery. All right, we might hit some sketchy internet zone out here, just so you guys know. We're going out in the boonies. We're going to like Alligatorville down here. This delivery is way out in the middle of nowhere. So if I lose you, I'll catch you back on the other side. Stream's not ending. I'll be back hopefully to celebrate the Mets taking the lead here. This would 100% be Rally Pig time. So Rally Pig in spirit. Acuna, the pinch runner. All right, thank you. Thank you for the update. I missed it. I'm 2-1 on Beatty is the count here. It's time for Beatty to shut up the Hades. Come on, Beatty. Acuna steals second. There we go. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Beatty. So now Beatty, all he has to do is put the ball in play to the right side of the infield. Let's see if, like, situational hitting for Beatty here. Got to not have a strikeout here. Because Lindor's going to get up this inning unless something crazy happens here. Ah, swing and a miss. All right. So what Jose Siri we're going to get this at bat? You think he's going to be patient, waiting for a walk? You think he's going to be aggressive? There's 1 out. Lindor is on deck. Ball 1. Two and 0 on Jose Siri. I mean, Jose Alexa, because it just triggered my phone again. Two and 1. All right. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And then Siri's going to strike out, I believe. Yep. I wonder, is that a spot where you're better off putting Tyrone Taylor in for Siri? And Lindor grounds out to end the inning and end the threat. Oh, this Mets team. This Mets team. This is why I get gray beard hairs. Yeah. I mean, Siri's not the guy you want up in that situation for sure. But I don't know. I mean, Tyrone Taylor, is that you put in Taylor there? I mean, does Siri know how to bunt? I wonder if he could have, like, just tried a bunt there. Like, either a bunt, sacrifice bunt, or a bunt for a base hit. I don't know. This team doesn't know how to hit yet this season. Yeah, I mean, I want Soto leading off. Like, I'm fine. If the game's on the line, I'm fine if Soto is up. But honestly, there's 2 players I want up in this spot as the Mets right now. It's primarily Soto and secondarily Nimmo. Because I know Nimmo knows how to handle this situation. All right, got to find this. We're on commercial break. That's funny, though, that a guy that fast doesn't know how to bunt. All right, I'm going to go drop this off. We're on commercial break. I'll be right back with you guys. All right, well, the Mets are going to be looking for some heroics here. I agree. Is it Reles? Am I saying it right? D-Rels? It's a little small on my screen. Yeah. I think, honestly, like, the frustration is probably not based on just this season alone. I mean, and I've said this a lot, if you want to bust a narrative, you've got to prove that you don't do things anymore. And the Mets have just kind of consistently struggled in some of these pressure situations. I'm definitely not in panic mode for sure. But I mean, it is frustrating because this game, not this season, this game feels like a synopsis of like the first 2 months or 2.5 months of last season. Get runners on and just can't do basic fundamental stuff. So, all right, Budo is pitching again this inning and does issue a walk. So Budo's already pitched 1 1/3 innings. He's pitched well. I would not worry too much on the pitching side right now, even with Cannon giving up that double to Yordan Alvarez that gave the Astros the lead. I like that Mendoza is pushing these guys and stretching these guys in the beginning of the season. Honestly, there's no reason that Canning giving up 2 runs should be anything other than a win for the Mets. So Budo now gives up a hit. It's going to be 1st and 3rd with nobody out, I believe. Is he going to leave Budo in here? You can't leave Budo in here at this point. And I'll tell you this, the other thing I didn't like, Stan, Beatty came out of the spring absolutely on fire and then didn't get the opening day start. I was just not a fan of that for Beatty. I'm not excusing, his performance here, but I'm just not a fan of, if he won the job out of spring, let him start on opening day. That's kind of, to me, I would also say this, the way this is me on MLB here, and again, I'm not excusing players, but just things that I don't like. The Mets and the Astros played so much this spring. They have so many scouting reports on each other. And I mean, if you look at it, both teams, right? Both teams are are struggling against each other because I think they've seen each other so much. So we were talking earlier, having conversations about why is MLB even starting with interleague play? Why did they have so little variation in the teams that teams played in spring training? And then to have opening day and then have the next day off, I know they've done that sometimes before, but all right. Grounder to Vientos. Vientos throws to home to get the runner out, cut the run down. So that's good. Vientos has had a really solid defensive day today. Very solid. Hayden Sanger catches that and puts the tag on as well because he came in for Torrens when they pinch ran Acuna for Torrens. Vientos made a diving play. He didn't record the out, but he saved a potential extra base hit. He turned a good double play earlier, and again, I haven't gotten to see all of it. I've just been listening, and so yeah, it's been that play at home. So it's really nice that Vientos is becoming this trustworthy defensive first baseman or third baseman. I just don't understand. I guess they're just stretching Budo out, but man. This is... Walked him on 4 pitches. All right. We're going to do the pitching change. Well, this is exactly what the Astros would want here. Yordan Alvarez coming to the plate with the bases loaded with 1 out. Bottom of the 8th here. Mets are going to make the move. They're going to make the pitching change. I mean, I get that Mendoza's stretching him out, but there's also kind of the point where it's like he obviously didn't have it that inning. He didn't have it really from the start. I think at a certain point when the game is still in the balance, it's hard to leave him in there. All right. Well, so the Mets are going to have to get out of this inning. Soto leads off. Kranick. I'm assuming he's able to go. I mean, you could even pitch Diaz if you wanted to. I know it's not his ideal situation, but there's no game tomorrow, so you've got anyone you want. I mean, I'm assuming everybody's available, so anyone you want, you've got for this spot right here. Is there any reliever who hasn't pitched yet? Because maybe Mendoza would try to bring in a guy who hasn't pitched yet, too. Oh, I agree. Yeah. It's hard. Like, you want these guys to get stretched out, but there's times and opportunities to do that. If you're down by 5, or you're up by 5, that's a little different. But a 1-run game with 2, 3, 4 coming up. Soto, Alonso, Nimmo. I want to play in for the win here, for sure. Kranick. All right, thank you for that update. That makes the most sense. Your best pitcher, because you might need Diaz for the bottom of the ninth if you can come back. So Kranick's the right choice here. I mean, foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Vientos makes another catch diving over the railing in foul territory. Max Kranick gets Yordan Alvarez. Another defensive play for Vientos. I mean, to be fair, you know, Budo got out of the jam. Grounder to Acuna, gets the out at first. Max Kranick gets out of the inning. And I don't want to pick on Buto too much. I don't, you know, he obviously was gassed and he shouldn't have been in there. But you're not going to have any pitcher in the majors saying, "Take me out, coach." I put that walk on Mendoza. And kudos for Kranick for picking up the teammate. That's what you do. All right. I don't want to take this to extra innings, even with a day off tomorrow. We need to figure out how to score 2 runs here. Be a great time for Pete to break out. Yep. I mean, it's based on how this season has gone so far, this is where you want to be leading off. Nothing against Lindor. I know he's going to get back to form, but I'll take Soto leading off here. Yep. Come visit me in Florida. Mets are going to be like right back in Florida after leaving. I think Port St. Lucie's about 2 hours north of Miami. I drove it one time. All right, we're going to see what we can do here, see what the Mets can put together. Yep, for sure. I mean, a splendid for the Mets bullpen. Really, I mean, where do you... What's the worst? The worst pitching performance we've seen is Clay Holmes giving up 3 runs in 4 2/3. That's our worst pitching performance against the Astros in Houston to start the season. It's like, it's hard to put too much blame on the pitching here for this series at all. Even game 1 with Clay Holmes. It's like you just got to score more runs. This is baseball in 2025. All right, strike one to Soto here. Two balls and a strike. Two balls and two strikes. All right, so he just laid off the slider that got him out the other day. It's a full count. Ball four, he worked the walk, got on base. Yep. Well, that's the thing. There's so many guys in that position that are going to just like go down swinging. All right, Pete, look, Pete Alonso, here's my message to you. I love you. I appreciate your career with the Mets. It is time for you to step into your destiny and not pop up out. Pop out for Pete. Come on, Pete. Pete, you can't do that. Ugh, Pete Alonso. All right, Brandon Nimmo. Yeah, I mean, he went for it. And if it was a high pop-up, it means he probably just missed it. Nimbo's got a foul ball. Line foul for strike one. All right. Low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike to Brandon Nimmo here. All right, slow ground ball to second. Soto moves to second, Nimmo out at first, so 2 outs. All right, Marky V. No swing, ball 1 to Mark Vientos. First base ump looks 14 years old. Let's go, Mark Vientos. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mark Vientos. Soto's on second, 2 outs. Top of the 9th inning. Mets only have 1 hit this entire game. But that could all not matter with 1 Vientos swing. But really, all you need is a ball in play, right? A hit. Any hit scores Soto here. Foul ball out of play. I just got myself an order, so I gotta go. Here we go. Here's the pitch. Line drive caught by the shortstop. That's going to end the game. Well, Vientos at least gave it a rip. Maybe the best hit ball other than Soto's ball all night. So, yep. Well, it was for the series, guys. It was 5 runs on 12 hits for the entire series. So, that being said, there is no Mets game tomorrow. The Mets could use a day off. And sometimes that's all that happens. I mean, the game didn't go the way you wanted, but at least, like, to me, that's a promising thing for Vientos there. So, unfortunately, not the ending we were looking for. But Soto did his job. Vientos gave it a rip. Just, you know, your defense is positioned 1 or 2 steps to the left or right. That's a hit. Ties up the game. So, hey, Braves are 0-3. There is a little solace there, isn't there? Well, with that being said, I appreciate all you guys. I'm going to take a break because I've been streaming on 2 different channels for the last 5 or 6 hours or so, so I'm ready for a little bit of a mental break on that. I appreciate everybody. Let me drop a little tidbit. I'm not going to say who, but I had the opportunity to interview a baseball player today. Not just that, an all-star baseball player, and not just that, a Hall of Famer today. So I got to interview a Hall of Famer today. I've got to do some editing and get everything set up for that. So be looking for that. It was kind of a happenstance. He came to help out at my son's Little League practice today. Yes, an all-star Hall of Famer came to do that. So I'm not going to say anything more. But be looking for that interview. I'm like super excited. And hopefully over the next week or 2, I had someone else video some of it too, so I've got a couple camera angles. Hopefully the footage is all good and everything turns out really good. So I'm very excited. Got to ask a couple fun questions, like a 5-minute interview, and so I'm very, very excited about that. So anyway, I will let you guys go for now. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for hitting that like, hitting that subscribe, giving this small Mets channel a chance. Hey, it didn't come up the way we wanted tonight, but some good takeaways from the series. Well, maybe I'll do like a recap of the series video tomorrow. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Let's go Mets, baby.